I'm not ashamed to own my Lord, nor to defend his cause. Maintain the honors of his word, the glory of his cross.
Hello, I'm James Brown, and on behalf of the Eastern Church of Christ located in Toronto, Canada, I'd like to welcome you to Saturday's edition of Walking Through the Bible, a podcast where we seek to study the Bible and the Bible alone. Please stick around afterwards for information on how you can contact us. But for now, if you have a Bible with you, please turn to the book of Genesis, and we'll turn you over to Jeremy Disacamp for our study of the day.
Thank you, James, and welcome to all of our viewers. This is the 77th lesson in our study of Genesis. Yesterday, we covered Genesis chapter 24, verses 15 to 28, discussing how Abraham's servant met Rebekah. If you missed that episode and would like to watch it, you can find it and all of our other podcasts on our website at www.eastendchurch.org. You can also find them on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/EastEndChurchOfChrist under the Walking Through the Bible Genesis playlist. Today we're going to begin with Genesis 24 verse 29 and read through verse 41. The text that you'll see on the screen is from the English Standard Version, but you're welcome to follow along with any version that you have. So let's now read Genesis 24 beginning at verse 29. Rebekah had a brother whose name was Laban. Laban ran out toward the man to the spring. As soon as he saw the ring and the bracelets on his sister's arms, and heard the words of Rebekah his sister, "Thus the man spoke to me." He went to the man. And behold, he was standing by the camels at the spring. He said, "Come in, O blessed of the Lord. Why do you stand outside? For I have prepared the house and a place for the camels." So the man came to the house and unharnessed the camels and gave straw and fodder to the camels. And there was water to wash his feet and the feet of the men who were with him. Then food was set before him to eat. But he said, "I will not eat until I have said what I have to say." He said, "Speak on." So he said, "I am Abraham's servant. The Lord has greatly blessed my master, and he has become great. He has given him flocks and herds, silver and gold, male servants and female servants, camels and donkeys. And Sarah, my master's wife, bore a son to my master when she was old, and to him he has given all that he has. My master made me swear, saying, You shall not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites, in whose land I dwell, but you shall go to my father's house and to my clan and take a wife for my son. I said to my master, Perhaps the woman will not follow me. But he said to me, The Lord, before whom I have walked, will send his angel with you and prosper your way. You shall take a wife for my son from my clan and from my father's house. Then you will be free from my oath when you come to my clan, and if they will not give her to you, you will be free from my oath. In yesterday's episode, we have God revealing to Abraham's servant the woman that he selected to be Isaac's wife, using the method that the servant requested. Rebekah, upon hearing what the servant had said, ran back to tell her mother's household, and on the way ran into her brother Laban. This chapter doesn't reveal to us much about Laban, but it is a name we'll need to remember later on in this book, for he will play a major role. Laban saw the expensive jewelry on his sister's arms and heard Rebekah's story, so it was only natural that Laban offered this man a place to stay. This was quite a gesture, for we learn here that Abraham's servant was not alone, but had men traveling with him. Even though that it was not expressly stated earlier on in this chapter, it could have been assumed, seeing as how much this servant was carrying with him. Laban ensured that the servant's camels had enough to eat, and that all of the men had their feet washed after their journey, following which they were served a meal. But the servant of Abraham was on a mission, so before eating, he wanted to explain to Laban and Bethuel, Laban's father, the reason he came. He began by stating who he was, the servant of Abraham, with Abraham being Bethuel's uncle. From everything we read, Bethuel would never have met his uncle, but would certainly have been told about him by his father Nahor. The servant then relayed to him how the Lord blessed Abraham with great wealth and a child in his old age. It is this child who would be given all that Abraham had. The servant said why he had come, in order to find a wife for Isaac. He said that Abraham didn't want Isaac to marry of the Canaanites, but from a woman of his father's household. He then relayed his concern that the woman wouldn't follow, to which Abraham had of course told him that the Lord would be with him, but if the woman wouldn't come, then he would be free from the oath. That Abraham's servant didn't hide any part of the truth from Laban or Bethuel shows us his integrity in not wanting to trick them into letting Rebekah come with him. He wanted them to know the whole story. We'll find out their response, the Lord willing, on Monday. With that, our time is up for today. Please join us, the Lord willing, tomorrow for the question and answer edition as well as the weekly sermon edition of this podcast. This week's question is, if Jesus is God too, how can there be only one God? Well, the sermon will be titled Spiritual Renewal. We will continue our study of Genesis, the Lord willing, on Monday, beginning at Genesis 24:42.
Thank you, Jeremy. And to our viewers, we also thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Should you have any questions or comments, please leave a comment below or email us at answerintheword@gmail.com. We'll try to respond to you as quickly as we can. We hope you will join us, the Lord's willing, tomorrow when we'll be presenting 2 episodes. One is a question and answer session, while the other is a sermon from God's Word. Goodbye for now. Have a great day.
I'm not ashamed to own my Lord.